Logitech's got a brand new mouse, the MX Master 3. Let's take a look. What's up everybody, Brad here, and Logitech released an updated MX Master mouse. This is the MX Master 3, and I've been using it for several days now, which is about long enough time to give it a decent review, because at the end of the day, it's just a mouse. Now, for a little laying of the playing field here, this was my previous mouse, which was the original OG MX Master mouse, which I've been using since the spring of 2015. So it is roughly 4 years old at this point, and you can see these two side by side. It's very much an evolution of the MX Master series. It's not some dramatic overhaul. It's not going to change your life. But let's just roll the video that Logitech put out, because it does a good job of sort of highlighting some of the features. You've got the two scroll wheels. You've got a new textured rubber design on the exterior. And I will tell you that in the dramatic marketing videos, it does look much more angular and cut and chiseled than I think it does in person. But the video, as a marketing video does, gives you a good idea of what's improved and of what is different about this mouse versus the previous iterations. Now, I will say that they are overselling it a bit here. Are you going to notice the difference between 3500 DPI and 4000 DPI, or 1000 scrolling lines versus 900? Probably not, because there's a lot of things you got to understand about a mouse. First of all, a mouse is your connection to the PC, your mouse and your keyboard. Yes, touch screens to some example, or on some devices, but universally mouse and keyboard. So when it comes to spending money on a PC, skimping out on a mouse can have a dramatic impact on your feelings about your computer, because that is how you physically interact with it. So this mouse cost $100. Keep that in mind. It's not the cheapest mouse. There are definitely more expensive mice on the market. All of this being said, is this a good mouse? We'll just cut right to the chase. Is it a good mouse for gaming? No. Is it a good productivity mouse? Is it the best mobile mouse? No. What this mouse is the Toyota Camry, the Honda Accord of the mice world. It is just a good mouse across the board. It is not going to excel in absolutely everything, but it's just a really good mouse at a whole bunch of things. First off, it's super comfortable. Logitech has updated kind of the rubbery material on it, and it gives you, your hand is not going to slip off of this. Now, one thought you might have is, hey, that stuff might wear out or replace or whatever. So this is my Logitech mouse, very similar material that is 4 years old. And granted, you can definitely see some of my palm rest and all that stuff, but it's still held up. Like, this is not in bad shape by any means. Yes, you can kind of see where I've eaten pizza too much a little bit with it, but it's 4 years old. It's a 4-year-old mouse, and it still works mostly fine. We'll get to that in just a minute. Charging here, USB Type-C, that is a big change. One thing I do wish about this mouse is that it supported wireless charging. That is where the industry is going. I'm sure that's where they're going next. It'd be nice to just drop this onto a charging pad like I do on my phone and charge the mouse. That being said, Logitech claims, and it feels relatively close, that 1 minute of USB Fast-C charging time will give you 3 hours. 3 hours on this thing. So I tested it because mine actually arrived mostly dead. And anyway, so I tried it. It felt roughly right. They are saying up to 70 days of battery life on a full charge. Can't test that one because it hasn't been out for 70 days. But what the point here is that quick charging, you shouldn't have to be charging all that often. So, is wireless charging a deal breaker? Absolutely not. The reason I am getting rid of this mouse, and this mouse suffers from the same thing, is you cannot replace the battery easily. Yes, I know there's videos on the internet about how to crack this thing open, change the battery, and you'll be fine. The battery on this thing is only lasting a few days at this point before being recharged. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to just move it to a different PC, keep it plugged in probably most of the time, and otherwise the mouse still works absolutely fine. That is the big downfall here, is you are locked in. You can see there's no easy way to just pop this thing open and replace the battery. Keep that in mind if you tend to keep your mice for, 5 to 10 years, because after 4 years, this mouse has, the battery life isn't what it should be. Now, all of that being said, the new mouse works great, right? It's got a nice fancy magnetic scrolling wheel. It's got a thumb wheel. It's got buttons, and it's a mouse. If you like the MX Master series, you are going to love the MX Master 3. It is a good general purpose mouse, no RGB, minus the one battery light, which does not come on very often, unless, again, like I said, it arrives dead out of the box. All of that. Otherwise, it's just a good mouse. Like if you're in the market and saying, hey, I need a new mouse. You could do a lot worse than this. This is, again, not a gaming mouse. You can find productivity mice with more things. You can find better ergonomic mice that are more rounded. But again, overall, it's a good mouse. Wireless, Bluetooth, all the basic things. 3 profiles available if that's your thing. And of course, there is the Logitech software. The Logitech software allows you to remap and do everything you would ever think. And you can even add gesture supports, which I personally find gimmicky. Do not buy this mouse for the gesture support. Basically, you can hold down a button and drag it, and then certain things will happen. I don't personally like it. I just don't like it. I don't know how else to describe it. The software is okay. It makes it very easy, but Logitech being Logitech, they want it always front and center for everything. And so it's definitely going to try to pop its way back into your life. Just keep smashing it down or uninstalling it potentially, depending on what you need. I personally only remap one button, which is this one, to a screenshot. Other than that, it is pretty much stock and bare bones. I pull it out, plug it in, use it, and don't even think about it, that is the most important thing when it comes to a peripheral. You want to find one you like, because if you start thinking about your mouse all the time, that means you probably don't like it, and it's not a good situation to be in. So what's the final kind of takeaway from, getting a mouse? This one's good. It's good. I could highly recommend it to somebody who needs a general purpose mouse. People who get these mice are generally very big fans of them. I personally think you could do a lot worse. That being said, guys, go grab this if you need a new mouse. I give it a thumbs up review, and that's all we got.